Hello, everyone. This is Bennett Forrest, your fantasy football commissioner, here with the playoff fantasy football recap. We do have a new champion this year. The Catonsville Cartel have won the championship. But before we get to that, I feel it's important that we need to recap week one of the playoffs. Let's start with the best game of the day between the second and third seed. Two-time defending champs, the Real Slim Aussies, fall to third and Oolong in a really back and forth game, 184 to 163. Obviously, for those of you who followed it, obviously the big thing was 62 points from Jamal Charles. I obviously don't have the stats and research team to back me up, but I would have to say that that's got to be the highest fantasy point total I've ever seen. I know I've seen some 50s before, but it was unbelievable. And the real amazing thing about the week was that he only had about, 20 yards rushing, which is, of course, what you'd expect. 8 carries for 20 yards and a touchdown. But obviously he had, I think it was 196 yards receiving and 4 other touchdowns. So 5 total touchdowns for Jamal Charles. Probably could have had another one. They had a backup running back run for a long one. And that ultimately is what won the game for third and Oolong. The Slim Aussies have a valiant effort. They did score the most points in the league. They did get the third most points for the week, so it's only fitting that they did come in third place. The biggest upside was starting Kirk Cousins over Joe Flacco. As you can see, Joe Flacco only had 9 points on Monday night, and Kirk Cousins had 26. So that was unbelievable, and the negative, of course, is overthinking it a little bit too much, having 19 points from Andre Ellington on the bench in favor of Donald Brown, and 13 points from the Rams defense on the bench, and 1 point from the Buccaneers. So credit to me for starting Kirk Cousins, but take away that credit for overthinking it and not starting the best guys. And so bench studs of the week, co-bench studs are to the Rams defense and to Andre Ellington. And that was the difference in the game. Third and Oolong did have some other nice points, 23 from Antonio Brown, and a lot of numbers in the teens. That Antonio Brown includes a kick return for a touchdown. So all things worked for third and Oolong and scored some points, but obviously had 62 from Jamal Charles, which made a huge difference. So congratulations, third and Oolong makes it to the championship game. Now let's take a look at the other game. This game was not so close. The Catonsville Cartel easily defeated the Travelers 184 to 129. The Cartel, who had I think won 9 in a row, 7 in a row going into the playoffs. As you can see, just a lot of 20s and a 30 here. Of course, the Seattle Seahawks defense has got to be one of the MVPs of the league for defenses. They just scored touchdown after touchdown, plus they get the shutout. So didn't even need the 2 28 points outbursts from Ryan Tannehill and Kendall Wright. As they score 184 points, they win the game easily behind the 3-headed Dallas Cowboy matchup of Romo, Dez Bryant, and DeMarco Murray. The Travelers, on the other hand, didn't get too much other than Drew Brees and Andy Dalton. As you can see, a lot of numbers in the teens. Some points on the bench. Le'Veon Bell only had 21. Can't really blame him for sitting Alfred Morris. So just wasn't meant to be. Good job getting into the playoffs for Temmie's team, but the Cartel win it and advance to play third and Oolong in the Super Bowl. So now let's go to this week's Super Bowl matchup, along with the third and fourth place matchup. We had Catonsville Cartel squeaking by third and Oolong, 139-130 to take the championship. I guess technically you would say it was a defensive struggle. And Gallo definitely had to stress out or sweat it out from Monday night with Anquan Bolden last night getting enough. Not many points for either team. The Slim Aussies would have beat them had they been in the championship game, but Alas, they were not. And the biggest, I would say the biggest thing was Tony Romo's 4th and 10 touchdown at DeMarco Murray got him about 12, 14 points on that one play. Sort of mitigated Calvin Johnson's terrible day and some of the other Brandon Marshall. That was the other thing. Brandon Marshall and Jay Cutler got a garbage touchdown in a blowout loss with the Bears against the Eagles. So you had one game-winning touchdown, Romo to Murray, and you had one garbage touchdown, Cutler to Marshall. That was really the difference in the game. Going into Monday night, needed 10 to tie, 11 to win from Anquan Boldin. Anquan Boldin had a nice, solid 19 points. I believe he had a touchdown in the second half. Yep, 6 catches, 72 yards with a touchdown. That's exactly what you want. So made it to the second half before finally took over for the win. Looking at 3rd and long, obviously Jamal Charles still had 25 points, well under the 62, but still very solid. But Matt Castle didn't score any, and didn't she have a quarter? Yeah, Matt Ryan. I would have put Matt Ryan in. That would have made the difference. So bench stud award for the Super Bowl goes to 3rd and Oolong for having, I don't know why. The more I think about it, that was a real bonehead move. I have to say. Both quarterbacks playing a tough defense on the road, but you got to give it to Matt Ryan, who is going to get some points no matter who he's facing. So that's a bummer. As with the Aussies the previous week, they lose with bench players on the scoring points on the bench. 3rd and Oolong loses the Super Bowl with Matt Ryan on the bench. And again, the Catonsville Cartel gets just enough to win. So congratulations to the Cartel for winning the championship. And let's just take a quick look at the losers bracket. We had the Slim Aussies taking care of business to get the 3rd place win over the Travelers. This was actually a really competitive game, back and forth all day. It was looking pretty good for the Travelers when Le'Veon Bell got a go-ahead touchdown at the end of that game against the Packers. That put them up by 10 or 12 points, but the game was won Sunday night when LaShawn McCoy, 34 points, easily outpaced Matt Forte in the blowout. That was really the difference in the game. Made a big lead so that Monday night Michael Crabtree's 16 points was not even close to enough. So the Slim Aussies, 2-time defending champions, do get finish in the money with $25 win and getting their league entrance fee back with 3rd place. Nice job, Travelers, getting into the playoffs, but they fall just short. And again, the Cartel and 3rd and Oolong, 1st and 2nd, respectively. So let's take a final look at the standings for the year before we move on. And we have there's the division. Oh, here we go. Final standings. We have the Cartel in 1st place with an 11-3 record, scored the 2nd most points in the league. So that's obviously what helped. Of course, they did have the lowest points against in the league, but that's a little bit of luck there, but still scored enough points to justify the win. We had 3rd and Oolong winning the division, coming from behind on the last day of the season, falling just short in 2nd place. We have the Real Slim Aussies, the highest point total of the year, with the 2nd highest points against, but again had a couple bench players on the people on the bench that would have won it for them in the 1st round matchup, and the Travelers with 4th place. As you can see, the Stallions 5th, and She Got Game picking up the rear. So that's it for the year. What another great year. I know I didn't do a great job updating the league each week. I did my best. And congratulations to Gallo, congratulations to Doreen, and of course the Slim Aussies for all winning in the money. I'm going to reach out to people directly. There are a lot of people that have not paid. I'm going to reach out to you directly. That money needs to get to me ASAP because the winners do deserve to get their money as soon as possible as well. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone. Thanks for participating. I will be in touch. And again, congratulations to the Catonsville Cartel for winning the 2013 ForrestLand MishMash Fantasy Football Championship. Good job, Gallo, especially after a tough year last year. And again, Happy New Year to everyone. And this is your commish signing off, and I will be in touch.